Hello everyone, this video is update on my Caspa mining. Caspa being crazy. Last day it's going from 52 back to 48 pentahash, so my guess is a lot of testing going on with the new equipment being shipped out. So it goes on the network, then they disconnect, ship it out, and then put another batch on the network. So it's been fluctuated a lot, but my prediction is gonna go up, as we've seen on our list. I believe it's probably gonna go at the same rate of 3% still for several days at least. So like if today on the 16th, right? So today is October 16th for the record, 6:34 p.m. Pacific time. We are here at around 52 pentahash, which it's probably less, right? Around 50 we've seen, but goes even 48. But then tomorrow with the same rate it should be like 53 and then 55. So it may not gonna go that quickly, but then it may hit right about in 2-3 days, like to 57, 58. I don't know, maybe not, but that's what it looks like with a lot of those machines connected. So obviously it's affecting our ROI dates and all that, just because of that hash rate being added to the network, right? So what else? Here, so that's our network hash rate, and then I want to talk to you about a little bit on our what I did with my KS0. So my KS0, I've been trying to update firmware, and I figured their problem is I couldn't get to 160. I only was able to update 40 gigahash firmware. There is a 3 of them available: 120, 140, and 160 gigahash. So 160 didn't work on a 12-volt system that I use. I'm using server PSU. If you remember from previous videos, I had set up my miner on my server PSU, right? So it's pretty much hey, this video, sorry about that, I'm gonna skip that and show you real quick the picture. Okay, so what I did, I added this server PSU, right, as you can see, and it's all running on a 12-volt system. So all of my 6K0 running off one server PSU. I was using originally a step up transformer, or step up DC converter, something just like that. So I had it set it up on this, and they were using a little bit more extra power because of that conversion and heat sink, so it's using more heat and also converting from 12 to 19 volts. And somebody messaged me that they were successfully just connect directly to 12 volts, and I'm like, oh shoot, why I'm just wasting power. I just connected all directly to 12-volt system, works flawlessly on the 100 gigahash. Now when I start to updating, I could not do 160 because of the power draw. My understanding is the power draw gets up and amperage going up, because if you are going to 110 220 watts at 12-volt system, you're at 10 amp, and the connector is designed to 10 amp maximum, so it's kind of reaching the maximum allowed on the connector, 2.1 millimeter or 5.5 by 2.1 millimeter connector. So it's basically something in the Iceriver K0 protection, self-protection, my understanding, or something is overheating sensor that it detects that the amperage goes up when you go on the 160, and it's keep on restarting device. So it just start mining right right about 1 minute or 1.5 minutes and start restart. And so it basically never goes on the network on the pool, right? So when I drop to 140 gigahash, actually these two running okay. This one is for 11 days on 140, it's roughly 135, but 140 gigahash perfectly fine on 12 volts, so I couldn't get it to 160. So what I did, I put back that I didn't return that step up converter, so I did for the other two, I basically add them up, those 19 volt converters, and boom, I have 160 gigahash, you know, no problem. So it looks like on 19 volts, if you do the math right at the 110 or 100, mine is roughly drawing like 100, almost 20, 118 watts. So divide by 19 volts, I'm only using 6.3 amp. So that's the simple math. If I doing 120 watts on a 12 volt, obviously it's 10 amp. So 6 amp is the it's only 60%, which is fine. I can go all the way to 8 amp. So that's probably where 140 gigahash using, right? So at 160 is actually reaching the maximum on a 12 volt system. So on the 19 volt, I don't have an issue on two of them. I actually been able to connect my third one to 19 volt. It's for some reason running a little bit lower than 160, but my guess is there possibly something wrong with the heatsink or the paste. So it maybe dried out while I was trying to connect and it's overheated or something like that, because it went to 70 something degree. It may cause damage to that heatsink paste. What I'm gonna do, see like how low on this 49, right? So it's perfectly fine. 42 now at 160 is actually goes to 53 for me, 56, right? Then here is 59, and then the last one is never actually going over 130 unless I switch. So if I switch to 140 gigahash, it works at 140, but on 160 firmware, it drops even lower than 140. So that's a trick. It's trying to probably go up to 160, it heats up and it drops. So the overall rate is actually worse than if I would just keep it on 140. So I guess if you guys have an issue with the heating or anything like running on a 12 volt system, then 140 gigahash probably best option. Look, it's more stable. This is, you can see 140 firmware there at the bottom, and this one 140 firmware at the bottom, so they're pretty stable. 11 days. This one I had to restart to switch together on the same pool. So now what I'm doing is I'm running two miners on one pool with the 140 gigahash, and I will have two miners on the other pool mining at 160. Two of them, just to compare what am I missing until I get another step up converter. Now this two is, I mean, this one is probably almost okay, but my last one is, I put it on a 19 volt, but there issue with something heating up, so I haven't figured out what's going on. If I try to, probably need to try to replace the thermal paste. So that's my next project, but right now probably gonna put it on the 140 just to keep it safer for the heatsink on my last one, and then I'll update two more here and hopefully we'll be fine. So that's for my KS0. Now on the pool, now going back to KS0, so two of them running in the pool perfectly fine. I was doing a lot better on my solo mining. However, last 3 days or almost 4 days, two of my miners, I didn't get any blocks. Let's see the last payout. 13. So yeah, pretty much the last block I found was on the 13th. Took it 2 days to get it, and now 3 more days, nothing happening. So that means if I would mine on the pool with these two guys, I would at least get with the 200, almost 300 gigahash, right? So what do I do with the 300? Let's go back and calculate. With today rate on 300, let's just type it in here, 300 gigahash. I would roughly get 83 cost per day, right? So let's say 80. Let's round it up to 80. Let's say 80 cost per day for 2 miners KS0. So to get 260, I would get them in 2 days. So because I didn't hit any blocks for 3 days, that means I already lost 80 CASPA, right? So now the 4th day come and I didn't hit any blocks, I lose another 80. So it will be total of 320 negative, because in 4 days I would get 320. If I didn't hit any blocks, then it's pretty much waste of sitting on the pool. For me, KS0 has no luck, no anymore, probably not anymore. It used to be pretty good. I hit those 7 blocks pretty quickly. So like I mentioned before, looks like sometimes it's just beginner luck, or it just set up that way. I almost think like, okay, as soon as you start solo mining, you feel like you're lucky. All right, so it's like gambling, and then it's just you keep on sitting there, you're thinking, yeah, you're gonna hit the block, you're gonna hit the block. Well, eventually you will hit the block, but look at your personal luck, you're already over 143%. That means I am already being 43% extra mining without no pay. So 100% means that you would be on the pool getting exactly the same amount if you would mine the block at 100%. So that's what it is. So anyways, that's for my KS0. Now let's go to my KS3L. So if you remember, I'm mining one on the pool. It's on the hump pool, and the other one I was mining on the solo, on K1 pool, solo mining. So the last 24 hours, same problem. I only mined 6 blocks. What does that mean? Well, 6 blocks, 165, let's say, will actually pay out 163.98 after the after you're deducting your fees, right? So 163.98, let's say 164 times 6. So for the last 24 hours, I only mined 984 coins. What does that mean to compare my pool mining? I did 697, almost 700, almost another 700, so close to 1400. Let's say 1350. So minus 1350, I lost already almost 360 CASPA. Before, I was actually making 500 extra CASPA, if you remember, a day, because I hit the blocks and blocks and blocks like crazy, almost 12, 14 blocks a day. Now it's only 6 blocks a day. What happened? I don't know. It seems to me like that's how the solo mining setup kind of tricky. So you go, you mine first, maybe 2-3 days, 4 days, sorry about that, and then you boom, you are all of a sudden like not mining any blocks for could be a couple days. I don't know. I've done that before, and then sometimes you just start hitting blocks again, done. For the whole day you would get lots of blocks, but then all it does is just compensate your waiting, but you're not gaining any extra. So eventually looks like it just balanced out, and then it all depends on your luck. You may not even get the same as the pool unless you're really lucky. That's how I want to put it. But anyways, it's up to you if you want to switch to solo. Just consider your personal luck. That's what they have here, like, you know, personal luck. So that now I'm at 94%, right? So 95. As soon as I'm at 100%, that means I would mine more for the last you know, block on the pool than on the solo mining pool, right? So here where I am. However, if you noticed, my current hash rate 6.3 terahash, average 451, 457. I don't know why this one a lot lower, but let's look at the dashboard on GUI. We have 6,000 to 6,100 here, and I've been running for 1 hour, almost 1.5 hours. So let's see what happened there. I didn't change anything on the I didn't change the firmware. What I did is, as I mentioned before, I ordered the KS3M control board and swap it. So let's take a look what I did. So I did open up I label it so I don't mix it, because I ordered 2 of them. I still need to update another one. I just want to run a test for 1 day, make sure everything runs smoothly. So I labeled all these wires, cables for the boards, cables for the label the fan cables just in case. I mean, probably doesn't matter for fan, but there's a front, there is a back cables, right? So and so forth. And then I put the new board in, same way I slide it in. And all right, so I let it run a little bit longer. It's been 3 hours, so it's pretty much close to 6 terahash, yeah, on the dashboard. And then on the pool we have 6 terahash average, for some reason showing 5 over there, but here is 6.7. I'm not sure why it's not updating in this area. Anyways, it's on solo mining. However, for all these 3 hours we didn't hit any blocks, regardless the hash rate being updated. So I don't know if I'm gonna keep a lot longer on solo. Let me know, guys, what you're saying. But gonna convert probably next my second miner and get it to the updated to get to 6 terahash, and see how it works probably in a day. And I'll update you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, and see you.